You ever wake up one morning thinking you finally arrived, that you're living that dream everyone says is right around the corner, and then bam, life comes swinging out of nowhere with a 2x4? Yeah, that was me. I'd finally landed in Crestwood Hills, the kind of leafy suburb where people argue over roses, not real problems. And my prize was this guest house out back, not some dusty old shed, but a proper little sanctuary. Italian marble counters, koi pond, the whole 9 yards. And when my father, Charles Hayes, a man built of history, dignity, and enough patience to humble a saint, retired, it felt natural to offer him the place. He had space for his books, his memoirs, and I got my best friend just across the lawn. Honestly, for a while it was peaceful, one of those rare, hard-earned kinds of peace that makes you think, maybe this time it'll last. But peace is fragile. I should have known better. See, it takes just one person who thinks the world owes them everything to ruin it for everyone. Enter Karen Davenport, distant family, closer than comfort, with this delusional sense of entitlement that could curdle milk. Her life had hit the rocks, job gone, condo gone, friends gone. I barely had time to feel sorry for her before she called, purring down the line. Like we were old pals, Julian, darling, I need that cute little cottage you have out back. Just for a bit, until I get on my feet. Not a request, mind you, a declaration. When I said, sorry, my dad lives there, she let out this laugh, sharp as a slap. Oh, Julian, don't be silly. Let him stay with you in the big house. I need my privacy. Like my father was some inconvenience. I shut it down quick, but you know how it is. Narcissists don't take no for an answer. They see it as a challenge. So a week goes by. I think maybe, just maybe, she's moved on. Of course I was dreaming. One afternoon, my dad calls that calm Julian. There's a woman here with a lot of luggage. Says she lives here now. My blood turned to ice. I barrel home, and there she is. Karen in a pink blazer, hair wild, face twisted up, shouting at my dad, who, by the way, is just standing in the doorway like a monument to self-control. She screams, he told me I could stay here. You're a squatter. This is my place to heal, and my dad, cool as ever, just says, ma'am, you're mistaken. This is my residence. Please leave before you embarrass yourself further. And that's when she goes full mask off, shouting, he gave this place to you. I'm family. I deserve this. But it wasn't about family. Not really. It was about my dad being a black man in a space she wanted, and she couldn't stand it. What do people like Karen do when they don't get their way? They call for backup, the kind that comes with sirens and guns. She dialed 911, tears in her voice. There's a man here. He's large, aggressive, threatening me. Painting the worst picture she could, all racially loaded dog whistles meant to bring trouble down on my father. Within minutes, cops come flying down our street, and Karen's right there pointing at my dad, spinning her story. He won't let me in. He's scaring me. The younger officer falls for it. Starts barking orders at my dad. Show me your hands. Step away from the building. My father, dignified as ever, just lifts his hands. But you could see it, the danger, the calculation in every officer's move. The older Sergeant Rodriguez keeps his cool, asks for ID. My dad reaches for his wallet. And even that is a risk. Hold it. The young cop shouts, hand on his weapon. And my father, in his own home, has to explain, I am reaching for my wallet. I step in, voice shaking. He lives here. This is my property. She's trespassing. It takes showing the license address, all the proof in the world, before the sergeant finally turns to Karen and says, ma'am, you need to leave or you'll be arrested for trespassing. But Karen, she isn't built for loss. She doubles down, points at my dad, voice trembling. He put his hands on me. He grabbed me, threatened me. A lie so rotten it sucked all the air out of the yard. The cops separate us, start taking statements, and my father just says, calm and thunderous, I never touched that woman. I remember security cameras. I tell the sergeant, it's all on tape. Suddenly the game changes. Karen, realizing she's cornered, makes a break for it. Not out, but into the guest house, slamming the door, locking herself inside. And then she calls 911 again, screaming, he's got me! He's holding me hostage! He's got a gun! And just like that, our peaceful backyard is ground zero for a SWAT response. Armored vehicles roll in, snipers set up. My neighbors get evacuated in their gardening gloves and tennis whites. Through it all, my dad stands next to me, a little crack in his calm, and I see what it's really cost him. The fear rolled deep, the kind only someone who's lived through real danger knows. Meanwhile, I'm shoving my phone at the SWAT commander, playing the camera footage, showing clear as day Karen running in alone, my dad nowhere near her. Finally, the commander gets it, tells everyone to stand down, and the siege ends. They break into the guest house and pull Karen out, still shrieking. She's arrested for filing a false report, trespassing, and calling in a fake hostage situation. You'd think that's the end, but you know better. Karen makes bail within 2 days and sues us for emotional distress. Claims we traumatized her, unlawfully evicted her, that my father assaulted her. Her sleazy lawyer starts blasting lies on local blogs. Suddenly we're the villains in our own neighborhood. Some folks like Mrs. Gable next door step up. She saw everything and tells the police exactly what happened. Brings over a casserole, says she's ashamed it happened here. Others, they whisper. The blog posts twist everything, the same old smoke and fire routine. The tension in the air is thicker than the summer heat. The months drag on, legal bills stacking up. But our lawyer, Ms. Albright, she's a force of nature, picking apart every one of Karen's lies. When trial day comes, the courtroom's packed. The prosecutor plays Karen's 911 calls, the security footage rolls, and her story crumbles like a sandcastle at high tide. 20 minutes of jury deliberation, then guilty on all counts. Karen gets jail time, fines, psychological evaluation. Her civil suit tossed, but the scars remain. Even after the whisperers don't just die. Some neighbors keep their distance. My father, once proud to walk the block, now draws the curtains a little more often. I install more cameras, bigger locks. Like that can keep the world's ugliness out. But it's not just physical, the weight lingers. The memory of that day, the bullhorn, the sniper's scope, the knowledge that a lie nearly killed him. Months later, we get a letter. Karen's out of jail and she's not done. This time she's got new allies. A sleazy internet documentary crew, bankrolled by a tech billionaire cousin, starts spinning her story as a crusade against corruption. Their smear campaign divides the neighborhood all over again. But my father, he's not hiding. He writes a book, speaks at the town hall, faces them down with facts, dignity, and that same unbreakable calm. The town finally sees the truth. The newspaper runs an exposé. Karen's supporters slink away, and even the council apologizes. The last twist, that barbecue in our backyard. Mrs. Gable organizes it, neighbors come together, people apologize, shake hands. For the first time in ages, the guest house feels like a home again. Not because the locks are stronger, but because the truth finally won out. My father's foundation, born from all that pain, now helps others targeted by false reports. We wear the scars, but they aren't just wounds, they're proof we survived. So what do you think? Was justice really served, or did we just get a glimpse of how fragile peace really is? If you've ever dealt with something like this, or you've got thoughts about where the line is between truth and comfort in a community, drop a comment below. I want to hear your story. Let's talk about what it means to stand up for the truth, even when it costs you. Because in the end, it's the only thing that keeps the wolves at bay.